Aquarius, Pisces, Cusp Collective. Welcome back to Cusp of Roses for your general cosmic tarot reading. I am super excited to bring this reading out to you all, and I hope it does find you in the highest vibration possible. Thank you guys, as always, so much for your patience while I took a little break to recalibrate. And I thank you for all the love you show here on my channel by viewing my videos, leaving your comments, subscribing, and making sure that that bell notification is active, even if you can't make my lives when they're scheduled. I appreciate all of that love, and I hope that these readings offer that same love right back out to you, okay? So, as always, well, not even as always, this is like our second round, yeah, with the full Black Moon Astrology deck. I think the more that we use this full deck for these cosmic tarot readings, the more the other cards will start to come out, okay? So I'm excited to see what the cosmos has here for you, and we will be clarifying with the Intuitive Night Goddess deck. Still enjoying that deck, still getting into it, okay? So before we get to these messages, though, let's go ahead and offer up whatever gratitude feels right in the moment, whether that be affirmations, intentions, prayers, meditations, maybe some breath work or a moment of silence or stillness, or a combination of any of those methods. Do what feels best for you in this now moment when you find this reading. I'm going to go ahead and do my own, and then we'll get started, okay? All right. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, my ascended ancestors, the ascended masters, and all holy angels, I thank you so much for being here with me and with the Aquarius Pisces Cusp Collective of Energy here on YouTube for their general cosmic tarot reading. I thank you so much, Divine, for clearing my energy and allowing me to channel the most important messages regarding whatever planets are supporting the Aquarius Pisces collectives, and not just planets, whatever aspects, whatever zodiac signs, whatever transits, whatever elemental energies are present as well in supporting them. Please let that come forward. We thank you so much for your clear guidance, your love, your grace, your mercy, your protection, your support, your peace, and presence with us in this now moment. And so it is. All right. Okay. Whoa. Alright, I hope 2022 is treating you well thus far here, Aquarius Pisces. Let's get into the cosmos and see what's supporting you. Thank you so much, Divine. What cosmic energy is here supporting Aquarius Pisces? Yeah, you got the 8th house, Scorpio energy, house of endings and beginnings. You also have the moon, the soul energy, vibration of 2 in this deck, vibration of 32 here. So a 2 and a 5. Can I have one more cosmic energy? Thank you. Yep. And then you got the 3rd house and messages, vibration of 27. Okay. Connected to Gemini and Mercury. Okay. Aquarius Pisces, it feels like just on par, and I feel like this is like honestly where a lot of the collective is in the now moment, right? You have your soul energy, okay, and it feels like your soul energy is trying to communicate something here with you with the 3rd house and messages, okay, about some ending and beginning, some transformation that you might be going through or need to undertake in the now moment, okay? With the moon being here, it does feel like there's a particular phase here that is ending out, okay? This does definitely feel like on a spiritual and a soul level, so maybe not necessarily anything that's in your 3D environment, but definitely in your 4D self and 5D self, okay, in your spiritual realm. Definitely pay attention to your own intuition in this season here, Aquarius Pisces. Whoa. Yeah, you got Definitely pay attention to your intuition. You got the High Priestess that flew out the deck along with the Sun, okay, and the Two of Pentacles. Which would tell me that there's definitely brighter days ahead if you do feel like you're in sort of like a gloomy state here, Aquarius Pisces. There's definitely a lot of success, a lot of bright days, the Sun, right? I feel like your intuition, your inner High Priestess is also trying to illuminate a decision that you need to make, or something that is out of balance in your material world. It'll be illuminated though with the Sun here. Okay. Thank you so much, Divine. So for my number, people, again, we have 2, okay? We also have 27 breaking down into a 9, and then we have 32 breaking down into a 5. So 2, 5, and 9 are your root energies. I will be getting that numerology link in my description box. I got to make a note to do that. But definitely look into those numbers individually. And definitely look into the angel number 259 and see what that has to say for you, okay? Tell me more about this moon, 3rd house, and 8th house energy for Aquarius, Pisces, cusp energies here on YouTube, Divine. What do they need to know about moon energy, 3rd house, 8th house? What's going on with the soul energy, these messages, and this cycle of endings and beginnings? Aquarius, Pisces. All right, tell me more about this moon. Thank you so much, Divine. Yeah. The moon offering you clarity. And I know that that even maybe be, come on, let's get words together here. I know that that may be a bit of a juxtaposition, right? The moon typically, right, we would think things are hidden, there's illusion around, but actually it's like the moon is giving you clarity in the shadow, right? The moon illuminates the night in the same way that the sun illuminates the day. So like I said, Aquarius, Pisces, for some of you, it could just be seasonal. Like maybe some of you deal with a little bit of like a seasonal mood type of thing, right? A little bit more gloomy because we're in winter if you're in my part of the world. But I do feel like your intuition, like we got the High Priestess, the Sun, and the Two of Pentacles. Your intuition is trying to give you clarity here. Okay? Trying to give you clarity, trying to offer you some sort of higher level of seeing something, higher level of consciousness, or a truth. Yeah, your intuition knows the truth about something here, Aquarius, Pisces. Okay, tell me more about this moon. Tell me more about the moon. It's the moon. I love spirit. And you also have introspection here, the Hermit, right? Tell me more about the moon. It's the moon. Yeah. So there is something being illuminated, but I don't feel like it's, again, it's not giving me broad daylight, everyone to see. It feels definitely internal. Like your soul is becoming aware of something after maybe a season here, the Hermit, of being maybe cooped up. And again, this could just be that it's a fall vibration, right? As the leaves wither, you know, nature tends to go within, kind of shriveling back. With this introspection, though, I do feel like there is a need to take time here, Aquarius, Pisces, to really tap in. Because again, right, everything that you need to know in this lifetime, right, is embedded deep within your soul. It's just up to you to unlock it, to decode it, to spend time with it, to learn it, right? And I feel like that's what your soul is asking of you in this now moment, right? Like I said, there's a truth your soul knows. There's a truth that you need in this moment to break through some sort of fog here, to break through some sort of indecision, right? You had the Two of Pentacles that peeked out earlier. To help you make a clear choice, to maybe help you find a new direction here when it comes to your thoughts, or there's something that you need to think about in a new way. Okay? But for the moon, to clarify the moon, I love that. I absolutely love that because it definitely means your intuition is very powerful in this time, especially as you approach your birthday season, okay? Take the time to go within, spend some time with yourself, okay? Tell me more about this moon energy for Aquarius Pisces divine. Thank you. Yeah. Shadowy. This is the devil card in this particular deck. It's reclamation, okay? There's something holding you back here, Aquarius Pisces. There's something holding you back. And it's easy to say, oh yeah, it's fear, right? Very surface level, right? There's fear there, maybe. But again, when it comes to choosing a direction, when it comes to something being illuminated, it almost feels like this could be the double energy trying to get you to keep it quiet and or to not take the time to go within. Some of you, this could just be you facing your own shadow, like we talked about a little bit earlier, right? The moon illuminates the dark during the night. Some of you, there is a shadowy aspect of yourself that you have to make peace with, or that you have to see clearly. Okay. With a lot of this moon energy, it could be definitely subconsciously driven. But that's why you would need to do the introspection work. That's why you would need to hermit right now in order to receive this gift of truth and clarity from the divine. Okay? Okay, what's the overall message here from the moon to Aquarius Pisces? Yep, the mystic. The Hierophant in this particular deck. There's something here that I think Spirit is, okay, for some of you, it feels like Spirit's trying to get your soul on the straight and narrow with something. With the double energy here, with the hermit here, with the moon, it just feels like there's been something that you've been engaging in the dark, and or there's just, again, a shadowy part of your own nature that has to be integrated, or that needs to come to light here. That you need to know about yourself here in order to govern yourself properly, or govern your soul properly. This does feel like there is a shadowy aspect of your soul that wants to be integrated into your reality here. I just heard that doesn't want to get left behind. Interesting. That doesn't want to get left behind. That doesn't want to miss out, or doesn't want to be in the shadow anymore. So there is a part of your soul here, Aquarius Pisces, that is ready to, again, integrate. Not necessarily cause resistance, but just to be discovered or be found. It's like, it's calling out to you, definitely. And I feel like for those of you that will resonate, you know what I'm talking about. There's a decision that you have to make to govern yourself in a particular way, or set up some sort of structure that pulls you out of that shadowy energy, or gets you to reconcile or speak truth to it. Okay, some of you, that it has a tinge of shame around it. So again, like, this is going to vary for everybody that watches, but you know, I feel like you know exactly what I'm talking about here. But with the Hierophant, it's like needing to really check in with your moral compass here, Aquarius Pisces. And ask yourself, is this how you want to govern? Like, is this how you want to live? Is like, it's kind of that deep. Yeah. Yeah. What are these messages here for Aquarius Pisces from the 3rd house? What are the messages? 7 of Swords. Yeah. So there is some level of deception here and or strategy. Recently, as I, do more tarot, the 7 of Swords has been coming across more as a, if you knew if you knew what you knew then, like if you knew what you knew now back then. Hence why typically it's depicted as someone looking over their shoulder, looking behind them. Had I known, these swords wouldn't be a part of my consciousness, right? These truths, these ideas. Had I known, I would have strategized a little differently, or I would have communicated differently. Okay. Tell me more about this 7 of Swords. Whoa, yeah, the Nymph of Swords, right? If I knew what I knew back then, I would have done it differently. Page energy. Learning at the end of the day, in my book. Learning, right? Learning how to communicate, learning how to interpret messages, learning how to seek truth, learning how to articulate truth, right? Pages are known to be kind of blunt, right? But there's also this tone of not having all the context. This is what I mean. If I knew then what I knew now, I would have maybe said something differently. I would have communicated differently. I would have expressed myself in a different way. So for some of you, this sort of truth has to do with how you communicate, how you engage others. There's a shadowy kind of aspect there. I really would like to keep these cosmic tarots like as more of like, again, an introspection. I'm not really feeling called to say that this is deception from someone else, but if that resonates with you, then let that be. Because even if it is, it's still being aware now. It's like now having a different discernment around what you're hearing from people, as opposed to absorbing it immediately as truth just because it's coming from an outside source. It's like learning how to go within and fact check against your own soul. See what I'm saying? Because that's where that 7 of Swords is like, okay, none of these swords that are in my hand right now actually measure up to what I truly feel, the 2 that are in the ground. Okay. Some of you, this is definitely about decision making, especially with the Hierophant out here. Again, if I knew now what I knew then, I would have made a different decision. I wouldn't have maybe, I would have made a different decision. Okay, tell me more about these messages for Aquarius Pisces. Warrior of Cups. I just heard I would have fought a little harder. I would have, okay. Some of you, that might be the vibe, yeah. Got the 6 of Cups, and then you have the Spirit of Pentacles. I feel like Aquarius Pisces, you're kind of having a moment here where it's like, you might have made some decisions, you might have done some things, said some things, moved in a particular way that wasn't necessarily aligned with how you felt, with the Warrior of Cups here and the 6 of Cups. So in a way, it feels like you might have deceived yourself or chose a path or chose something out of deception, out of this devil energy, out of a shadowy space within you. So for some of you, it's like there's a situation that brought up some really dark energy within you. And I feel like in this now moment, you're able to reflect, you're able to go within, you're able to now meet it. But maybe back then when this happened, I don't think you were ready for that. So it's like almost like looking at the journey and being like at like Six of Cups, right? It's really your inner child, right? It's nostalgia. It's looking back on something, looking back at a time where it was peaceful, going back into your childhood memories and realizing where the dysfunction started, right? It was all good up until this point. Everything was great up until this point, and that's what the Six of Cups brings you back to. Some of you, it feels like with the Warrior of Cups, it's like I should have fought harder. I should have expressed myself from a heart space as opposed to just sharply. Because with the Nymph of Swords, like I said, blunt. It's like saying things that maybe you didn't really mean, Aquarius Pisces. Seven of Swords. Saying things to protect yourself, saying things to guard yourself or guard your inner child, because it feels like whatever this is, it's like part of you felt like that inner child energy was at risk or at in danger. So it definitely feels like it came from a space of protection, but I feel like the effects of what was said, the effects of what was done is hitting you now. Spirit of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, mirrored here with the Devil, right? Saturn, essentially. And Saturn brings truth, that Ace of Swords. This would also be the Six of Cups. I would definitely say would be your soul trying to communicate with you, but trying to get you to feel something. Like I said, it's taking you back to a time when you felt a certain type of way that was harmonious, that was kind of peaceful. And for some of you, it's like recognizing how far away you are from that energy in the now moment, which is why the divine would ask you to go within and rediscover that part of yourself and face whatever energy brought you or pulled you from that Six of Cups. Like I said, it was all up into this moment, then boom, something changed, something shifted, something happened that brought you out of that Six of Cups. Okay? And I think here with the 8th house, endings and beginnings, it's like this is the time in the moment now where whatever you've been cyclically, especially with the moon, clarifying the moon, whatever you've been cyclically participating in, feeding into, giving into, as far as your shadow self is considered, that it's time to bring that cycle to an end so you can have a new beginning. Okay, let's look into that though. Thank you so much, Divine. Tell me more about the 8th house. Ooh. Yeah, Temperance. Right. There's a need to change and shift at a very, very deep soul level internally. And you're getting assistance with that, Aquarius Pisces. So know you're not alone in making those changes. You definitely have your angels, your guides, your ancestors pulling for you, shifting things for you, supporting you. Tell me more about this Temperance in the 8th house. I love it. I love when the tarot clarifies the cosmic oracles. Scorpio energy, death, endings, and beginnings. Okay? So for some of you with that Temperance, they're showing me like just how traditionally it's depicted with the 2 cups pouring back and forth. It almost feels like Aquarius Pisces, you're in that bridge. So you're not fully in one cup, but you're not fully in the other cup yet. Temperance. Okay, so there's definitely a major ego healing that has to happen here. That's a new thing that it's been coming up with this Death card around ego. And I say that specifically because this particular card shows no face. So no mask. There's no representative, right? It's just pure cosmos. It's just pure star energy. And I feel like that's the thing. It's having a death of that facade. It's having a death of that face. It's having a death of that version of yourself that I feel like you created to protect yourself or protect your inner child in some way, shape, or form. Okay? I just heard it went a lot farther than it should have. Yeah. So I feel like this Seven of Swords energy, this Nymph of Swords type of behavior and ways of communicating worked for a moment, but it went a lot farther or lasted a lot longer than it needed to, Aquarius Pisces. So that's why Temperance and Death would be here, right? Helping you bring an end to that phase so that you can start a new one, and a one that's more in alignment with who you truly are, right? And what the divine really wants you to experience. Okay, tell me more about this 8th house energy for Aquarius Pisces. Wow, no! Why must you do this to me? Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm just gonna scoot this on over here. Okay. Like I said in the beginning, potential, the Fool, endings and beginnings, 8th house energy. So in order for you to activate this new beginning, Aquarius Pisces, yeah, you have to allow this shift and this change to happen. You got to dig deep here. Yeah, I feel like that's why the soul on the moon would definitely want you to introspect, because really the key and the answer to this transformation is deep within you. It's facing this shadow. It's facing whatever energy got you to be deceptive in the first place, or got you to say those things that you really didn't mean, or act in a way that really wasn't in alignment with what you felt. Warrior of Cups. Okay. So, ooh. Yeah, so there it is. There's that new beginning. Tell me more about this 8th house energy. Queen of Cups. Right. Okay. Queen of Cups. Getting back in tune with that heart space. Taking care of yourself. Because I don't think that in the moment of trying to protect yourself, I don't necessarily feel like you were connecting with the awareness that that energy, as much as you were maybe pushing it out to, I don't want to say you were trying to hurt someone, Aquarius Pisces, but again, to protect yourself, to maybe dig and stab and cut others out of that own shadow energy. It's like it hurt you too. Yeah. It hurt you too. And I feel like that's what the divine is wanting you to kind of recognize and face, right? When you face that shadow, you realize that, yeah, there's a need to really take care of yourself, Queen of Cups. Yeah. There's a need to take care of yourself. There's a need to really tend to that. Because I feel like this shadow energy was birthed out of a wound, and it feels like you need to tend to that wound now. It's like no more just covering it up with a band-aid. Yeah. No more allowing that wound to bleed onto others. It's like it's time to kind of patch it up, sew it up, put some salve on it. You know what I mean? Like really tend to it and take care of it. Because I think at this point it's doing you more harm than good. Yeah? So tell me more about this. What's the overall message here from the 8th house? Thank you so much, Divine. For Aquarius Pisces, what's the overall message? And there she is again, High Priestess. So you know what to do. Trust yourself in that process. Okay? This doesn't have to be something that's done. And again, I feel like with the moon energy and how the sun originally came out, this isn't something that I feel like needs to be done for the sake of others, in front of others, right? It feels like this is a real intimate time with yourself. Real intimacy with yourself. This isn't for anyone else's eyes. This is for you and the divine Aquarius Pisces to really finally take that band-aid off, start cleaning out that wound, start facing that shadow, right? And get back in tune with that Hierophant energy. And again, you have a pair here, the High Priestess and the Hierophant, the mystic in this particular deck. Okay? This being masculine energy, getting you to act, getting you to take action so that you can be a little bit more open to the messages that the divine really wants to give you, or to, because it almost feels like for some of you there was like a huge misunderstanding or misinterpretation with the Seven of Swords and the Page of Swords, because there was a lack of context, there was a lack of understanding, there was a lack of empathy, there was a lack of compassion. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like a part of you went a little cold here, Aquarius Pisces. And I think the divine, especially with the sun coming out earlier, is really wanting you to warm back up so that you can put an end to that phase of coldness, right? And start a new beginning here. Because again, there's so much more life to live for you, Aquarius Pisces. But in order to start your new life, in order to begin, right, you have to end the old way of being. And I think that's what you're challenged with in this now time, really trusting your higher self intuitively. Because for some of you, it feels like this intuition led you somewhere. And again, I keep getting that for some of y'all. And that just might be the collective I speak to, because I can relate to that, right? Where your intuition leads you one place, but it turns out to be something that was a lot more damaging than you maybe wanted it to be or thought it would be. So then it's like, how do I trust my intuition now? Because look at where it led me. Look at the scars I have now. Look at the pain I had to go through. Look at everything I had to overcome when I trusted myself. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like, again, I just feel like there is this like shadowy side of yourself here, Aquarius Pisces, that you can no longer ignore, that you have to face, that you have to go within and illuminate within yourself with that moon energy. Yeah. Okay, Aquarius Pisces, a little heavy, but that's okay, right? That's what we're here for. I hope that this reading served you in some way, shape, or form, gave you some form of reassurance or confirmation of what you are going through or what you feel might be coming up within you in the now moment. Definitely let me know in the comment section below what resonated with you, what connected with you, okay? Or just your thoughts in general. And I will see you all next week for your love message reading, okay? Namaste.